so glad that we could be together today. I wanted to share with you this word from Paul as he writes it to the church in Rome. This is in a very familiar chapter of the book of Romans, and it's chapter 8, and it's verse 28. It reads this way from the NIV, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose." And that's a wonderful verse for us to have today, especially with everything that we find going on in our life. I mean, we look at life and we can say, man, this really stinks at times. We've got death. We've got things that are happening. We got human trafficking. We got all kinds of diseases. We had a pandemic. We're still trying to get through all of those things. And yet we read this verse in what Paul writes to the church of Rome, in which he says that we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him. We try to put all that in perspective when we're thinking, Lord, how in the world are you going to turn all these things around and help me in my life? Well, we saw what he did on the cross with Jesus, and through the horrific part, the tragedy of what we saw happen on the cross, it was so glorified when we saw and read that Jesus Christ had been raised from death to life. And so we know that God does work in these ways. But when we're really thinking about this verse, we're not using it to try to console us, to say, oh, I'm facing all these things, and so they must be good because they're happening to me, and God's going to work it all out in the end. What we're really saying, and what Paul's writing here, is the fact that God is bigger than all the things that we are going through. We go through some things in life that we're not sure exactly how we're going to make it. And yet we know by this verse right here that God is still working on our behalf. He is still working on renewing all things. He is still working on redeeming all things. So whatever it is you're facing in life, whether it be a pandemic, whether it be a sickness, whether it be unanswered prayers, just know that God is faithful and that he will continue to see you through to the other side of all of this, in which will bring honor and glory to him. So when it seems like God is silent, when it seems like he's put you on hold for a little while, understand that those silent prayers are not a denial. Understand that God in his own time will answer the phone. Well, I'm glad that we could be together today, and I hope you have a wonderful day in the Lord, knowing that the Lord is still working on behalf of all of those who continue to love him and continue to just live according to his word. Have a great and wonderful day.